This video is all about the antiderivative initial value problem. This is a great video to watch after you've seen the video on how to find the antiderivative using the anti-power rule. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the bottom in the description so that you can go ahead and watch that first. In this example, it says we are given the derivative as 8x cubed plus 12x plus 3 and f of 1 equals 6. Our job is to find f of x. F of x is the original function. So I am given the derivative and then I have to go back now to find the original function. I'm going to do that by finding the integral. I'm going to find the antiderivative. So I'm going to set up the problem as I have to find the antiderivative, and that's the symbol for it, of 8x cubed plus 12x plus 3 dx. So I am going to go ahead and apply the anti-power rule. I'm going to add 1 to the power and divide by that new power. In this case, I'm going to get 2x to the 4th power. Why 2? Because 8 divided by 4 is 2. For 12x, the power right now is 1 because I don't see a power, but I do see an x. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 and then divide by that new power, which is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so this is 6x squared. Plus, remember the 3 by itself means there's an x to the 0 power next to it. So I add 1, divide by 1, and I get plus 3x, and then I get plus c. Now, one of the things that is different in this problem is that they've actually told me that f of 1 is equal to 6. So I'm going to go ahead and use that information so that I can substitute x is equal to 1 and f of 1, which is the answer, is equal to 6, so that I can go ahead and solve for c. So I'm going to write 6 is equal to 2 times 1 to the 4th power plus 6 times 1 to the 2nd power plus 3 times 1 plus c. Because remember, x is equal to 1, so everywhere I see an x, I'm going to substitute with the number 1, and the answer is equal to 6. So that is why here I've made it equal to 6. So now I can go ahead and try to solve for c. 6 is equal to, this is 2 times 1 to the 4th power is 1, 1 to the 2nd power is 1, 3 times 1 is 3. So this means 6 equals 2 plus 6 plus 3 plus c. That is 8 plus 3 is 11. So 6 equals 11 plus c. If I subtract 11 from both sides, then I'm going to get that c is equal to negative 5. The final answer is going to be f of x is equal to 2x to the 4th plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 5. And this is going to be my final answer. And one of the good things about finding the antiderivative is that obviously you can take the derivative and you should end back at the derivative. So in this case, notice if I take the derivative of this problem, I am going to go ahead and get 8x cubed plus 12x plus 3, which is exactly what they told me the derivative is. All right, so in this problem, they're giving us once again the second derivative. They tell us that f of 4 equals 20 and f prime of 4 is equal to 7. Find f of x. So because they give me the second derivative, my job is to first find the first derivative. And I'm going to do that by finding the integral, the antiderivative of 3 over the square root of x dx, which I'm going to go ahead and take the time to rewrite this as the antiderivative of 3x to the negative 1/2 dx. All right, now that I have this written with a power, so that means I'm going to add 1 and I'm going to divide by that new number. Negative 1/2 plus 1 means negative 1/2 plus 1 over 1, and 1 over 1 is just 2 over 2. Negative 1 plus 2 is going to give me just 1, so that answer is 1/2. When you divide by 1/2, it's going to be the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, 2/1. So then here, when I divide by 1/2, which is going to be my new exponent, I'm going to end up with 6x to the 1/2 power plus c. So that's going to be my answer so far. They have told me that f prime of 4 is equal to 7. So I'm going to go ahead and use that information so I can solve for c. I'm going to substitute. I'm going to write down 7 is equal to 6 times 4 to the 1/2 power plus c. The good thing is that 4 to the 1/2 power means the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 we all know is 2. So 6 times 2 plus c, I get 7 equals 12 plus c, and c is equal to -5, which is just a coincidence that in this problem and in the previous one that I showed you, c happens to be -5. So what does this tell me? This tells me that my first derivative is going to equal 6x to the 1/2 power minus 5. So this is my first derivative. Now, my job is to find the original function. So I'm still not done. I'm going to have to do this process again. So in order for me to find f of x, I'm going to now have to take the integral, the antiderivative of the first derivative of 6x to the 1/2 minus 5 dx. So this is going to give me 6. If I add 1, then that becomes 3/2. 3/2, if I divide by 3/2, is the same as multiplying by 2/3. So I get basically 6 times 2/3 x to the 3/2 power minus 5x, because remember, a number by itself means x to the 0, so plus 1 divided by 1 is just minus 5x, and then of course plus c, which stands for the constant. I'm not going to use c because I just used c in the same problem, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the next letter, which is d. So now 6 times 2/3 means 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So I get 4x to the 3/2 power minus 5x plus d. They do give me more information in the problem. F of 4 is equal to 20. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to substitute 4 for x, and I'm going to make this equation equal to 20. So 20 equals 4 times x is 4 to the 3/2 power minus 5 times 4 plus d, because my job is to solve for d. 4 to the 3/2 power means the square root of 4, which is 2, to the 3rd power, which is 8. Okay, so this means 20 is equal to 4 times 8 minus 20 plus d. And if you don't know how to do 4 to the 3/2 power, then you're going to have to put it into your calculator. But basically it means either 4 cubed, which is 64, and the square root of 64 is 8, or you can find the square root of 4, which is 2, and then raise that to the 3rd power, which is 8. But if you don't know how to do that, then I guess you're going to have to do that in your calculator. So 20 is equal to 32 minus 20 plus d. 32 minus 20 is 12. And if I subtract 12 from both sides, I get 8 is equal to d. So my final answer, f of x is equal to 4x to the 3/2 power minus 5x plus 8. And then this is going to be my original function, f of x. Hope you found this video helpful. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more help with math so that you can say, yes, I can do math with confidence. Until next time, thanks for watching.